Hello everyone, my name is Vina. Welcome to TalktoEmpower. TalktoEmpower is about mental health and self-development. So if you are interested, do subscribe to our channel. You can also follow our Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and Pinterest at TalktoEmpower. So, have any of you ever heard about therapy or coaching? Do any of you know what therapy and coaching is? For those who heard this term for the first time, don't worry, because today we are going to discuss what therapy and coaching is and how they are related to mental health with our therapist Erin and a life coach Ervian. First of all, for our listeners who do not know or who might be wondering what exactly therapy and coaching is, maybe we can talk a little about therapy and coaching. So, Erin, maybe you can explain what therapy is to our listeners?
Thank you, Vina, for opening up this very interesting podcast and also for introducing us. Therapy is a safe space for clients to journey collaboratively with therapists, exploring the current emotional and psychological state and the struggles that clients experience, right? While understanding their own unique experiences that make up who they are as individuals. So we are working together with clients in therapy because we consider clients as experts in their life experiences. Basically, no one knows the struggles better than the clients themselves, right? And also when talking about safe space, therapy provides a non-judgmental and supportive space to help clients process their feelings, thoughts, and experiences regarding the situations or issues of concern, in which I would emphasize that we are really more focusing on mental health as the main concern. What about coaching? How is it different from therapy, Ervian?
After I listened to it, coaching is pretty much different from a therapy session. If I understand correctly, you say therapy is a process in which you help the client in exploring their emotional or psychological state, right?
Yes, it is.
I see. Okay. However, coaching is a little different. Coaching is an interactive process in which we work together as a coach and clients to help raise the client's awareness and responsibility to unlock their potential and maximize their performance by providing training and guidance. As a coach, we also help and support the clients in achieving their personal and professional goals through communication that are intended to inspire new thinking, perception, and behavior. The process is usually done step by step, starting from clarifying their goals, identifying the obstacles, and help them create suitable action plans. So, what I get from you is that therapy is more like a process, I would say. Both therapist and the client work together to explore the experiences of the client and their struggles, while coaching is an interactive process that helps the client to rediscover and to unlock their potential to maximize their performance, which means therapy is working on the past and present matters, while coaching works on present and future matters. It is interesting. Both help a person in facing the struggles, yet they are very different. But when exactly someone needs a therapy or a coaching? I can't say specifically when, because there are many type of coaches out there and they are specialized in their own field, such as mental health coach, personality coach, life coach, or career coach, and many more of coaches out there. So when one needs coaching, it usually depends on what they need or want. For example, when you are facing a major transition, you might want to find a life coach. An example of a major transition here can be when you are about to change job, move to a new city or a new place, or get out of a relationship, and many other life adjustment that needs to be done or to be worked on. Another example is when you need help or guidance in getting employed or achieve a certain goals in your career, then you might want to find a career coach. Although there are many types of coaches out there, I can say that we actually still work on the client's personal growth and achievement. So if you want to reframe your negative mindset or overcoming your fears or any work on personal growth or achieving a certain milestone in your life, then you might want to find a coach. What about therapy? When one needs a therapy session?
To put it simply, one can consider therapy if they want to heal or need support with their mental health concerns. Some signs that can be looked out for to indicate the need of seeking therapy are like feeling overwhelmed and having difficulties managing stress, difficulties in regulating emotions, engaging in maladaptive or unhealthy behaviors, thoughts, or coping strategies, being affected by a past traumatic event that hinders people from living life, experiencing physical and mental exhaustion that affects productivity and functioning in daily lives, changes in social behavior that is unusual for them, like social withdrawal, isolations, right? Experiencing major life events can also be one sign if people want to seek therapy, which is quite similar to what Ervian mentioned earlier, but I believe the approach between coach and therapy could be different in the way that therapy focuses on how major life events affect clients' mental health. And last but not least, is engaging in self-destructive and self-harming behaviors. But aside from all these signs, anyone can seek support from therapy whenever they feel the need in improving mental health and emotional.
So, before joining a session, is there anything that we should know beforehand about coaching and therapy? For example, what we should expect to happen during the session?
This is a very interesting question because what you can expect from therapy is quite different from the approach that the therapist take in the sessions, and also the style of the therapist as well, right? But in general, the beginning phase of the therapy, the client can expect therapists to introduce briefly about their therapy and how it works. Having this common understanding is very important because this will be the foundation of the therapeutic relationship, or what we call the therapeutic alliance between the therapist and client, which will be built further as the session progresses. And then, after having this common understanding, clients can proceed to talk about what brings them to therapy. And at this time, the therapist will try to deepen that insights about what is the concern and discussing further in depth. And to understand the complexity of the issues and to ensure the appropriate intervention at the later stage, therapists may ask about the relevant history of the clients and also the background information of the clients or the situation of concern. Right? So this could happen between like maybe around 2 to 3 sessions, depending on the approach. Again, on the approach of the therapist and also on the readiness of the clients to open up. Right. And then the following sessions, clients and the therapist will focus on working towards the agreed objective of the whole therapy sessions. It could be resolving or changing unhealthy or maladaptive behaviors and beliefs, changing self-destructive behaviors and attitudes by exploring and figuring out healthier and more adaptive coping strategies, understanding and regulating emotions and feelings to support emotional maturity and resilience, and last but not least, resolving and transforming emotional pain, which is usually related to past painful experiences. All this happen within the safe space of therapeutic alliance that the therapists and the clients build on. Right. And the therapists may encourage clients to confront things that they have been suppressing or challenging the thoughts or the perceptions of the clients. And these are part of the process to address the deep-rooted issues. Hence, it's really takes a lot of courage and bravery for people to come to therapy because they will have to understand themselves more, have to face what all these uh, feelings, thought, experience that I have been avoiding all this while, right? Especially when the journey in the therapy is not always linear and changes takes time in the therapy process, you know. And I guess from my answer sounds like people can only expect to get uncomfortable in the therapy. But don't worry that people can expect greater awareness and understanding of themselves by the end of the therapy, but as the therapy progresses. And I wonder how it feels like for the coaching sessions to what happened there in the coaching sessions.
Yeah, I believe the structure is almost the same. We also help the client to be more aware of their feelings and emotion and how their mind works. But before I explain it further, I think it caught my attention that there are actually a lot of things that needs to be covered and worked on during the therapy session. And you also mentioned before that the progress will not always linear. It can be goes up and down at certain point. So I think it will last longer than I thought it would, isn't it? How long does it usually take until let's say, I don't know how you call it, but how long does it usually take until they recover?
Well, I would say depends on the readiness of the clients and also depends on the goals of the clients as well and the complexity of the issues. You know, some issues can be worked on a shorter period of time or lesser sessions required. But some, as in like if we are talking about uh, resolving painful experiences or painful past trauma, it can take quite a long time. It can be up to a year or more, depending on the client's readiness as well.
So it's very different from a coaching session. A coaching session usually only work for a short term period, like 1 month period. But when we as a coach thought that the client needs to have a longer period of time or need a longer period of time, it can usually take up to 3 to 1 year. This is because we usually, as a coach, will help them break down their goals into smaller achievable goals for the clients. However, if after the session they want, not after the session, after they achieve their goals, they want to maintain their progress, then we as a coach can help them after the session, and it usually can take 1 year or maybe more than that, depending when the client wants to stop. At the first session, or what we say, the intake session, we usually will explain the general session outlines and roles and expectations to the clients. One of them that is very important, I would say, is that the clients are expected to have an open and honest partnership relationship with their coach. Then from there, we have an open communication with the clients to find out what they want to achieve in their life, what kind of goals that they want to achieve. This relationship is needed so that the coach can fully understand what the client's needs or wants, so we can build a suitable action plan for them. However, when we say create an action plan, we are developing it together as a coach and clients. In the later session, we will work together with the clients to achieve their goals one by one. During the coaching process, we also help them explore their beliefs and go through their fears so they can understand more how their mind works and how their emotion works on a deeper level. The purpose for this process is for them to overcome their negative self-limiting belief and their fear, which will become an obstacle for the client in achieving their goals. For this, usually we will ask them a question that will challenge those beliefs and fear and help them to reflect on those to create a healthier belief, perspective, and behavior.
It's good that both of you explain a brief and detailed step for the client because I believe for the client this is very important to know these steps. So, if we are going to dig deeper, what are the exact issues you work on? Let's take stress, for example. Is this one of the issues therapists work on?
Yes, we do. As you know, there are layers to stress, When in a state of stress, there could be various emotional responses that comes with it, like worry, fear, anger, and so on, right? And we want to look deeper into the cause of the stress for the clients. What about the situation that makes them stress? How come they respond differently when it comes to the stress itself, right? So here we can be talking about emotional regulations, coping skills, emotional resilience, and understanding their source of stress as well. But besides stress, there are other issues that can be worked on in therapy, such as adjustment concern, uh, becoming a parent, becoming a mother, becoming a father. That can be quite stressful. Or developmental transitions, such as from college students into a working adult, right? That can be requires quite an adjustment as well, and that can challenge our well-being as well, right? Another thing that we work on could be maladaptive behaviors, such as addictions, self-destructive behaviors, having a certain belief and thought patterns that may challenge our sense of well-being, such as like perfectionism, all or nothing thinking, uh, like expectation of shoots, must, oughts, that can be quite challenging for someone to have such a thought pattern, right? Another thing will be like self-image and identity. We are looking at like a body image, negative self-treatment, gender identity, self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth, which could be related to past painful experiences or traumatic events, right? As we are talking about self-identity, we can also take a look at grief and bereavement as well, because as we are talking about losing loved ones or uh, break up, we lost that role that we used to have. Hence, there is a change in terms of how we perceive ourselves. So there is a change in our sense of identity as well. Last but not least, it will be like interpersonal relationship, like unhealthy relationship, boundaries issues, bullying, or could be like attachment concerns such as sense of rejection, sense of abandonment, or avoidance of attachment. That could be something that we look into in therapies as well. Noticing and understanding that the clients are complex with their unique experiences. Oftentimes, clients come with more than one issues. It could be layers, as I said earlier. We are talking about self-identity. We can be talking about past trauma, and then we can talk about attachment concern. So it's complex, individual, and the depth of the individual that we really really value and take into consideration in working in therapy.
I see that there are a lot of issues you can discuss with a therapist. If we look from here, we can't say it doesn't have a correlation to the future, right? Does coaching work on the same issues?
No. If what you mean is by past issue, then we are not working with past issue. Let's take stress for the example. As a coach, we can also work with stress. However, we are not trying to find the source of the stress, but we are helping the clients in identifying uh, and learning, also practicing stress management with the right tools. The tools here are more or less a strategy that will help the client in managing their stress. Other than that, you can also work together with your coach on self-development topics, such as building self-confidence, forming a habit or a routine, setting up boundaries, learning a new skill, or learning how to stay motivated, or any other self-development topics. And you can also cover health or relationship issue with your coach. They can also work together with their coach to achieve a certain milestone in their life, such as relationship goals, financial goals, and career goals.
So, what I get from you is that therapy is not only working on trauma related issues, but also work on the other areas in life, while coaching working on personal growth. So, what is the purpose of the session? What is the exact purpose of having a coaching session?
I can't really specify the purpose of coaching session because it's usually different from case to case. It depends on the client's goals and wants. As mentioned earlier, a coaching session works on the present towards the future. So as a coach, our purpose is to help the client to achieve their goals by guiding them, supporting them, and also empowering them throughout the whole process. What many people know here is only like how to achieve their goals. However, as I mentioned it, they actually work on the personal development topic for their personal growth, which lead to the main purpose of coaching to help their client to be more aware of their potential, to rediscover and develop their strengths and abilities, or what we say is unlocking their potential so they can reach their full potential and maximize their performance in order for them to achieve their goals. However, I believe the purpose of therapy session will be very different from a coaching session as they focus on the past in finding the cause of the issue, isn't it?
Yes, it is part of this the purpose of the therapy, but it's not the whole thing, I'll say. Right. And it's quite similar to coaching that the purpose of therapy varies according to the agreed goals between the therapist and also the clients because it's highly personalized according to the client's needs. In general, though, the purpose of therapy is to promote mental health and healing that can be broken down into like gaining a better understanding of the past and its connection and contribution to the present. In a way, it helps clients to gain better awareness and understanding of themselves and their circumstances. Second is to help clients understand their current challenges and possible deep-rooted issues. Third is empowering clients to make changes in their lives for better emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and also to relieve emotional distress and providing necessary support and interventions that are appropriate for clients' needs. And last but not least is to improve clients' overall sense of well-being and eventually their quality of life.
So, for both therapy and coaching, every client came with their struggles, but they both come with their own purpose. The struggles we talk about here can be a mental health issues. Since you work on a different issue, this concept of mental health, is it different from the perspective of a therapist and a coach?
As a coach, we see mental health as part of individuals' personal growth, and we believe that the coaching process itself can help to enhance the client's quality of life. I think we all know that when the individual is under stress, they usually can't perform well, which can lead to several health problems, including emotional and psychological, also physical health problem, obviously. Therefore, as a coach, we support our clients to identify what they want to experience more of and then helping them to create the action plan on how to make those experiences come to life. When you have a good emotional health, it enables the mind to function clearly and effectively to deal with stress, challenges, and also difficult situations. This brings to the main point where we, as a coach, help the client to learn and practice the right tools as what we call an intervention strategy to cope with the stress rather than addressing the root cause of the issue. However, talking about emotional and psychological health, I believe that we have the same understanding of how stress can affect individuals' mental health, doesn't it? So, Erin, can you share your perspective as a therapist? I believe you understand more on how the emotional and psychological health can affect individuals' mental health.
Right. Yes, definitely. I think it will be the right time for me to define mental health and bring up this definition of mental health from the World Health Organization. So, according to the WHO, mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, and work well and contribute to their community. Mental health is more than the absence of mental disorders. So, as we are looking at this definition, we can see that mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being because all of these affect how we feel, how we think, and how we act, which then determine how we respond to stresses, how we make our decisions, and how we build and maintain relationship with others, right? However, it should be noted, as we are talking about mental health, it's not a yes or no or a black or white. It's rather a continuum and it's dynamic. Our mental health state can change depending on many factors. It could be internal or could be external factors as well. Therefore, we need continuous effort in taking care of our mental health, just as important as how we take care of our physical well-being through exercise and diets. Taking care of our mental health requires a consistent effort to practice at least emotional, psychological, and social self-care so that we can cope with the stresses of life, realize our potential, as what Erwin said, and also make meaningful contribution to our community as well.
I see. So that's a very interesting view on that. And when we are talking about mental health, like you said, mental health requires consistent effort, but it's often ignored by us, mainly because we can't feel or see them physically. So we tend to think that it did not affect our daily life. But then in reality, it affects us greatly. So for the last question, how therapy and coaching can help to improve one's mental health?
Right, I think this is a very interesting concluding questions that we have here. So to sum up everything, right, therapy helps clients by providing a safe space for clients to openly talk about their concerns and their relevant experiences, while at the same time having an in-depth uncovering of their thoughts and feelings about the situation without the concerns of being judged. By doing so, the therapy can help the client to understand how they perceive their struggles or concerns, how their situation or circumstances affect them, how they react and respond in a certain way to the situation, and in some cases is to facilitate client to face the difficult reality that have been repressed or avoided by the clients, right? So in which all of these are meant to help clients to make changes from within by taking accountability in making the desired change and building a healthier and more compassionate relationship with themselves. Another way that a therapy can be helpful is by facilitating clients to develop healthier or more adaptive coping strategies to deal with their struggles and build their resilience according to their own personalized style. Because as they have a better understanding about themselves, as they have a better awareness about themselves, they will learn to know what works for them and what doesn't work for them, right? So all these are through the collaborative effort between therapists and clients. Hence, the therapeutic alliance between clients and therapists becomes very important for the therapy to be effective. Having said that, I wonder, does coaching help to improve mental? How does coaching help to improve mental health? Does the relationship between coach and client is considered an important factor as well in coaching?
Yes, definitely. The relationship between the coach and clients is very important. Therefore, at the very beginning, we expect the client to have an open communication and honest communication with us as a coach. So the coaching process itself actually help to reduce the anxieties and promotes mental health for the client. As a coach, we do help the client to clarify and organize their thoughts and anxieties, and then allow them to focus more on what is truly important and meaningful for them, what they want to work on, or what they want to improve, or what they want to achieve, rather than the things that are on others people's agendas, or what the society say they should be doing. The coaching process itself works on individuals' personal growth. So the coaching process can help boost individual self-confidence and self-esteem by helping reduce stress and anxiety. Thus can help increase one's quality of life. We support our client to build self-resilience and self-regulation as well, and also provide guidance in the process of learning and identifying ways or strategies to work through their perceived limitations. Another way that coaching can be helpful in improving individuals' mental health is that we help them to be more mindful or to help them to be more aware of themselves, give them the feeling of being empowered and in control over their life, and also reframing their negative thoughts and self-limiting beliefs.
It is interesting to see a mental health from a therapy and a coaching point of view, and a very interesting talk we have today. Let's have a more in-depth discussion about how therapy and coaching could help our mental health, specifically about confidence building in our next podcast. If you don't want to miss out on our updates, do subscribe to our channel. You can also follow our Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and Pinterest at TalktoEmpower. Leave us a comment in our social media if you have a question or if you would like us to discuss about your topic of interest. Thank you for tuning in with us. See you in the next episode.